Welcome everyone to the Automotive Blockchain channel. Hey, how is everyone doing? I literally just finished cooking some bacon in my air fryer. I've cooked lamb in there. I've cooked chicken thighs in there. I'm more of a chicken guy, or chicken guy. I'm more of a chicken thigh, chicken leg kind of person than I am chicken breast. But anyway, I ended up cooking some bacon in this air fryer that I got for Christmas, and I'm here to tell you, I don't think I'm ever going to cook bacon any other way. I'm not going to cook it on the stove. All the grease was taken care of. It wasn't as smoky as would it be if I cooked it on my Lodge cast iron pans. But anyway, hey, I digress. Welcome everyone to the channel. I just wanted to give a quick love dub out from my heart to yours. For all of you who are new to the channel, those of you who have come back and listened to it over and over again, the subscribers, etc. Love dub goes out from my heart to yours. Thank you very much. Today we are going to be talking about a couple of different things. Actually, it's one thing that drives this, and that is I personally realized that I have been lacking on focusing on silver. And I kept reading articles about it over the past year and a half, and the silver prices, and and I do look at that. However, I realized that one of the most important things, elements or metals that have to go into these vehicles in this electrical industry is silver. And, this is not financial advice or anything, but in this video, I am going to kind of go over just some headlines on reasons why you may want to invest in silver. And once again, you do your own research and figure out if that is the right thing for you. I'm not a financial advisor, financial planner. This is for, just my own research and things I'm looking at for entertainment purposes that I probably will invest in. So instead of getting down there and reading all sorts of legalese and laws that have come out by, let's say, the World Economic Forum or the EU or the United States, I thought I would just say, hey, let's look at some headlines. And I did a video similar to this not too long ago, probably late last year, but I wanted to bring it up again, and that is from the perspective of silver. So here we go. Let's look at these headlines. First, manufacturer, all right? This is over from S&P Global. Daimler greenlights 70 billion euro electrification plan. EU targets 30 million electrical vehicles by 2030. Please pay attention to the year 2030 and take note of when the articles are coming out, when these announcements are coming out. It's just kind of interesting to me that they all seem to be coming out within a very, very short period of time of each other. So that is Daimler. For those of you who don't realize this, Daimler, Mercedes-Benz, that is who that would be for those of you in the United States. All right, what about the other big German one? German manufacturer. We have BMW, 50% electrification target by when? 2030. When did this article come out? Late summer, August 2020. So not too far away from the BMW one. Electrification target for 2030 is ambitious, but is it achievable? Yes, it is achievable. They have no other choice. They're going to do it. So in this article, you see BMW electrification will account for a quarter of its sales next year, and that is 2021. So that's literally the year we are in right now. A third by 2025, and 50% of its overall sales by 2030. So that is pretty sweet. Now keep in mind, this is new sales. So we understand that in 2030, there's still going to be a whole bunch of ICE engines, that's the internal combustion engine, ICE engines on the road anyway. So it's going to be a long rollout process, but things are changing. Let's move over to another one, okay? Audi outlines in this article, came out on April 7th, that is today of 2021. Audi outlines a 15 billion electrification strategy. So we have BMW with their electrification strategy, and then we have Daimler with their electrification strategy. Gee, you see something common about this? And it's all coming out when? Pretty much in the past, let's say 10 months. They're outlining all of their strategies for this. Now, when is this all going to happen? Well, you'll never guess the date. All right. So a midterm investment strategy will see some 10 billion, that's 11 billion US, directed toward e-mobility, and 5 billion on hybridization through 2025. That is, so they're literally launching up, and that's one of the things that they're looking to do. So that is their initiative there. Now, moving over into what about just a quick announcement from one of the American companies. Now this is Ford Europe, but it does apply also here in a similar policy will apply here in the United States as well. But Ford Europe goes all in on electric vehicles on road to sustainable profitability in Cologne. Site begins a $1 billion transformation. So a manufacturing plant here in Cologne is going through a $1 billion transformation there in Cologne. So, and that is to help support the electrical vehicles that they are going to be producing. And once again, I'm going to zoom in on this article just so you can get a chance to see it. If this thing will let me, which it's not, I'll zoom in manually on the video. Ford says by mid-2026, 100% of its passenger vehicles range in Europe will be, guess what, zero emission capable. Now, that is interesting they use capable. All electric or plug-in hybrid, moving to all electric by 2030. Whew, having a problem reading right now. All right. Ford's commercial vehicle range in Europe also will be 100% zero emissions capable. And here's the magic year. 2/3 of commercial vehicle sales expected to be all electric or plug-in hybrid by when? 2030. There you go. And so that just kind of gives you another idea. And this came out when? February of 2021. Let's move over to GM. What's GM talking about? GM is betting its electrified future on a revolutionary new battery system. The company has already invested billions in the Ultium technology, as they call it, the Ultium technology. Great little video over here of the Hummer EV. We'll use this revolutionary new battery. So that's some of the things that they are talking about. All right. Now, the Hummer EV, they just talk about by 2021, 2023. Highlighted here, the company is looking to, with 20 models, to have zero emissions by 2023. So GM was looking for 20 models to have zero emissions by 2023. Now let's move over into some of the Japanese manufacturers, all right? So let's start with Honda. What is Honda talking about? Honda reveals that a new CEO to boost electric vehicle strategy. So they're doing a whole infrastructure change internally so that they can help roll out this these new electric vehicle strategies. And just so you know, this article came out when? February 19th. 2021. Still, see how all this is happening on the same time frame? Just kind of interesting to me. Let me know what you think of that for yourself in the comments section. All right. So Honda is looking to roll that out. They go through a quick article there. What about Toyota? All right. By 2025, Toyota's goal is to have 40% of the new vehicle sales be electrified models. And when? By 2030, expects to increase to nearly 70%. So that is Honda to debut some electric vehicles. And this article came out in February 10th of 2021. Moving over to the last one over there for Japan, just want to say Mazda becomes the first OEM to join the e-Fuel Alliance. And here you can see that electrification is the, as I highlight all this in red, is the key pillar within Mazda's multi-solution strategy. And by 2030, all Mazda vehicles will be electrified. What date? 2030. It seems like there is something happening at 2030 where they have to have that happen. And you would think that, okay, maybe it's the legislation, the new rules, standards that are coming out by the EU, the United States, Japan, but you have to think about this. So you mean to tell me that every manufacturer on the face of the planet in different continents all said, let's just choose that particular date, that particular year for a reason. We're just going to say we'll all agree on 2030. No, there's a bigger conversation going on there, in my opinion. And I think that has a lot to do with a number of things, and I'm going to do a video about this. And for those of you that understand, let's just say this acronym that has to do with the GSM, I'll be doing a video on that and how it may have an effect on the automotive industry coming up. All right, now moving on over into the last vehicle that we have here, or the manufacturer, and that is Hyundai. Hyundai ramps up EV strategy for 2021, and we can see here by 2025, the company plans to sell 560,000 battery electric vehicles per year. And just backing it up a little bit, it says globally, Hyundai will launch more than 12 additional battery electric vehicle models in the next 4 years. By 2040, it plans to have fully electrified its global vehicle lineup and aims to account for 8 to 10% of its global EV market. Okay, so we have all these manufacturers doing all these sorts of things, and let's just go ahead and start to talk about the what I mentioned. Why? Okay, yes, these manufacturers are doing that, and I want to just kind of bring up this one little article, the headline only: World Economic Forum, how to get more electric cars on the road. And one of the ways on how they suggested doing that in the study that they had is they said, let's put more charging stations in places that are easily accessible, like actually in the neighborhoods. So they're thinking about infrastructure upgrades, not just to the main points, the main arteries on the roads, but also maybe in your block, in your cul-de-sac, or at the corner of your cul-de-sac, or in the commuter lots that are that are stretched out of the urban areas, but putting them there. All that sort of stuff. They're things that they are considering, not just in parking garages, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I can picture that there's going to be a significant amount of, let's just say, stimulus money heading to a city near you to help increase the charging stations. And there'll be maybe, I picture there could be even more tax credits, et cetera, rolling out for companies that are going to be instituting these policies. So what does all this mean? Okay, I'm going to get over to the silver side. So here's something from the global silver source, the Silver Institute. They've been around for a number of years. Here's a quick little headline on this. Silver consumption in the global automotive sector to approach 90 million ounces by 2025. And when I saw this, I was like, I said, oh, you know what? Why have I been lacking on focusing on silver when it's such the obvious thing as it pertains to automotive? Yes, we know it's in automotive. Yes, we know it's in your mobile phones. It's all over the place in electronics. But when we see that every manufacturer, all the ones that I've mentioned today, are literally focusing on doing something by 2030, and we realize where the price of silver is at now, just think to yourself. Now, this isn't financial advice for you. I'm thinking to myself, I probably should pick up a bag or something of some from actual silver at some point in time, and maybe look into other forms of investment into silver, like the partial ownership, etc. And yes, I'm using partial ownership for those of you that are out there that are just trying to figure this out. So I do recommend, me personally, of actually acquiring the metal itself so that I can store it wherever I want to. There are all sorts of things online for different mints, Perth Mint, etc., where you can buy silver coins and that sort. But look down here real quick in this article. Okay, it says average vehicle silver loadings. Okay, and this is going to be for vehicles which are currently in the ICE engines is between 15 to 28 grams. And that's for the light vehicles. This doesn't include the tractor trailers and stuff like that. We're talking about passenger vehicles, okay? Now, that's been rising for the past few decades. However, look at this. In hybrid vehicles, silver use is higher at around 18 to 34 grams for light vehicles, while battery electric vehicles, the BEVs, are believed to consume in the range of 25 to 50 grams of silver per vehicle, okay? So to move to autonomous driving should lead to a dramatic escalation of vehicle complexity, requiring even more silver consumption. So when you think about that and you think about where the industry is going, you have to ask yourself, wait a minute, silver might be a good play in a number of different ways. Maybe not just owning the hard asset, but actually owning other forms of investments in the silver industry or in the silver market. So maybe some of the mining companies that are out there. And once again, this is not financial advice for you. This is me doing some research and telling you about some things I found. Do your own research and make sure you do it well, because there are a lot of scams and all that kind of stuff out there. So hey, that is it, everyone. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe. And don't forget, this is the Automotive Blockchain channel, and there's always room on the bus. I will see you next time when you get on board.